Well, it's officially fall and I've got a Moody dining room makeover with entirely thrifted items. I've also got a thrift haul, so let's start by going thrifting. It's always a surprise what you're going to find when you go thrifting. I found boxes and boxes of those little sluggers. My thrift store is getting ready for a massive sale this weekend, so it was a bit chaotic when I was in there. I've been there on a couple of different occasions over the last couple of weeks. Lots of items. They must have been donated. I don't know whether a store was closing, but they've got a lot of the same items that have come from a retail area somewhere. The Christmas section is getting bigger and the Halloween section is getting smaller, and from what the ladies were saying, they're hoping to get rid of most of their Halloween this weekend so that they can concentrate on getting their Christmas stuff out, which is really funny considering, you know, it's still a while away. But hey, I suppose it's how we shop, or how we've been told we should shop. Nothing really interesting in the Halloween area. There's always a couple of little things that, you know, you're looking out for specifically, but yep, I didn't pick anything up for Halloween. I have been making items, if you've been watching over the last few weeks, for my Halloween displays, I guess, or home tour, but I won't be doing that for a couple of weeks anyway. I had to check out the wool aisle. I've been inspired by my friend from The Joy of Things, which is a lovely little channel out of the UK. She does a lot of knitting and thrifting. She gets great things. She's been making some really lovely items, but she made a shawl recently, which I would love to have a go at. I don't think I'd be any good at it, but I was so inspired. It turned out so beautifully. Check it out. You've got to see. It's The Joy of Things. But I did find some lovely velvet material that I did pick up. It's a lovely yellowy mustard colour, which was perfect. And I've got some curtains in the dining room that I cover the door to the kitchen in the winter time because it's a drafty old house, and they're just a little bit too short, and I'm thinking I might add the velvet onto the bottom for the winter. I always check out the curtains and bedding section. You never know what you're going to find. This was cute, but actually this was a bedspread, but I don't really need any bedspreads at the moment. But as I said, always check out the curtains and bed linens. They have lots of different items. I saw these two lamps. It was a box full of lamps, and I looked at them and I thought, wow, they're really cool. They're not ideal, but I had a makeover idea for them, so I did grab a couple of these lamps. I mean, for $1 each, like I said, some store must have been clearing out somewhere, because there really were a lot of items that were really cheap, and there was multiples of them. I've been eyeing this little owl for the last few visits. It doesn't have a price on it, but it's a candle, and I think if it wasn't a candle I might pick it up, but there's no point if you've got an owl or something that's shaped that's a candle, because as soon as you start burning it, it loses its shape, and then you're kind of, well, I don't see the point, but that's just me. I mentioned earlier, our local thrift store is having a big 50% off one of the upcoming weekends, so they've been massively trying to get as much merchandise out on the shelves as possible. They did have a big table outside with some discounted pictures on, and I picked up one for 50 cents, which was really cute. I love these two. There was two here with the boats on. They were $3 each, and I did have them in my basket, but when I got to cash I realised the frames were destroyed. Now I could have bought them and reframed them, but they were an odd shape, and I thought, you know what, I've got so many pictures, I really didn't need to buy any more, but I always do. We have a couple of areas in our thrift store that they have these display plates. Now, if you've got the time to go through them, I found some really cool little plates in there. They also have an area at the front where they have specialty items. I thought this was nice. This was, I think it was $5, oh, $2 or $200, depending on how you read that. I also liked this little plate, but I thought for $6, I didn't need it. little red plate caught my eye. It reminded me of the Cottagecore, but it's bright red and it was one piece. I don't know where I'd put it. This is the specialty display cabinet, and they have some really cool little items in here on and off. This little set, which wasn't silver, I think they wanted 95 for it, needed a lot of cleaning. They always have little trinkets and items that are too good to go out on the shelves, but then, you know, they want to price them a specialty. And like I said, I've picked up some decent little things from here in the past. There are always the cutest little items in this cabinet. The type of things that you would put in a curio cabinet if you have one. Now, obviously I have a curio cabinet. Mine's actually full to the brim at the moment. I'm going to have to take stuff out of it to do my Halloween displays, but I'm not worried about that for at least a couple of weeks yet, because we have to get Thanksgiving over and done with, which is in 2 weeks' time, because we have it quite early in Canada. And then after Thanksgiving, that's when I look at doing my Halloween decorations in earnest, because, well, it seems odd to have Halloween decorations up, especially at Thanksgiving. It's different in the States, but here in Canada, like I said, we are much earlier. Would anyone like a pair of Manolo Blahniks for $300? They remind me of the shoes that Carrie wore in Sex and the City. Just shows what we have in our display cabinets. There are some really nice prints as well, and little odd things here and there. Again, you just never know what you're going to find. This is a really old picture. It's awful, but they used to paint on them to put colour on them, but doesn't make them pretty. But let's see what I found. I got these three little pictures. One was like just a regular, I don't know what it was. One was $1 and one was 50 cents. The two were 50 cents and one was $1. I ended up using two of them and swapping out the pictures, because there's a couple of them that have like equestrian pictures in, which I'm really into at the moment. But this one was broken and it didn't have the mirror on it, the glass I should say, so I swapped that out. So I put those two up on my wall, and very nice they look too. I also found an envelope for $1, and I thought, well, I'll have a look. It was in with the picture frames, and I opened it up and it was so cool. It had about 6 pictures in, and they were on the most beautiful paper, reproductions of watercolours. They're gorgeous. None of them were framed, and they're all of France. That one was, oh, that's Zurich, but the rest are of France, and they really are quite lovely. So I was thinking of actually mounting them on boards, you know, like the ones you get from the canvases you get from the dollar store, and then putting them up in the dining room as part of my makeover. But then in the end I decided to go with my tapestries because I preferred the look. But I think I'm going to put these upstairs in my office. I just really love the look of these. I love the colours, and I love that vintage look about them. So for $1, this was an absolutely amazing find. This was another trip. I always pick up rollers when I find them, use them for wallpapering and crafting. That was 50 cents. This wreath form was 50 cents. Lovely piece of fabric, $2. Nice quality, very retro. No idea what I'm using it for, but I love it. And then I picked up this little box. This is initially from the dollar store. It was 50 cents, and this is going to be used in an upcoming Christmas craft. So really great picture art. So lucky on that particular day. This is the plaid or the tartan, depending on what you want to say, that I manifested. I also found this really cute little chalkboard that I'm going to be using in the kitchen. This is the velvet fabric that I picked up in my most recent haul. It was $2, and it's a nice big piece, and it is enough to fill in the bottom of the curtains that I mentioned that I have in the dining room. There's probably enough to make a decent couple of pillows, but I am definitely going to be using it for the curtains because it is along the same colour lines as the curtains that I have, which were a little bit more mustard than yellow, but it definitely matches, and it will complement the curtains without looking too ridiculous, just to add to the bottom so that they fit the door frame properly. So that was another great find. So this was 50 cents. I just loved it. I love the colours of it. I love the design. I was thinking of making one of those little Halloween pictures out of it, you know, drawing a little ghost on it or some bats, but I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. I just really like it. I have to touch it up where the stickers, price stickers came off, but I'm going to keep it. This was $2. I love the colours on this. Again, really reminds me of fall with all those lovely colours. So that is already up on the wall. This little, it's a jam pot actually, and it was made in England. I have a set of little dishes that have the little houses on them, so I thought this was $5. It came from the specialty cabinet, and I thought it was perfect, so I did pick that up. So I told you I'd grabbed 2 of those little lamps out of the box that were $1 each at the thrift haul. When I got them home, I opened them up, and these were brand new. Obviously they've never been used. The gold colour is a little bit, so I'm going to rub and buff that. I'm also going to dismantle them because I don't like this little sort of pink thing at the bottom, but it came apart really, really easily. I thought if I couldn't get that pink thing off, I was going to paint it, rubber buff it in the gold anyway. It made me think of something that's quite colonial in its look with this pink thing on. But I did pull it apart really easily, so I'm taking everything apart. I'm going to unscrew the centre cord here, and then I'm going to put the little hook, there's like a little hanger thing on the bottom. I'm going to put that back on. I'm going to glue it into place, and then I'm going to hang a crystal from it. And the way these sconces work, you just put a screw in the wall and hook them onto that, and then you plug them into the wall. So they're ideal for an area that is maybe a dark corner, or you don't have any down lighting. And a lot of the old houses, especially the ones that I've lived in, don't have an awful lot of lighting, but this is going to be perfect. And again, this is going to be, I think, in my dining room. So let's get started. I picked up this little chalkboard. I think it was $2, and that's going in the kitchen. Oh, that's perfect for the fall and for writing pretty little signs on as the seasons change. But these are the curtains that I manifested. I really wanted something plaid. I wanted these colours. I was thinking about it all night. I walked into the store, and there they are on a hanger. A set of curtains that is perfect for what I want. This is what I'm going to use them on. I've pulled this from the summer room that I made earlier on, and I've put this in the little nook where one of my cabinets, I've swapped out a cabinet, and I'm going to cover them eventually, but right for now I've got a pillow that I'm going to throw in place and just cover that. And here's the little sign that I've chalked on for the kitchen. So do you remember the before? A few weeks ago I painted the back wall in the dining room a really nice soft shade of pink. I pulled out the fireplace that I made and cozied the room up. I still had my curtains up, moved a few things around, and pulled the tapestries from another room and put them into the dining room. I wasn't satisfied. I decided I wanted to make some big changes. So this is the material that I used. The curtains were lined, so I made a pillow cover for a big pillow to go on the chair, and then I made the trim out of a contrasting green fabric that was on the backing of the curtains, and then that's what I made, which is perfect, especially for the dogs. Until I get a chance to recover the couch properly, it is a quick fix and it looks amazing. Now I also put one chair to see if I liked it in the same fabric, and to be honest, I think I'm going to do them all because I love it, and it'll be lovely for the winter time and the Christmas season with that lovely plaid. And here is one of the pictures that I put up. So this is what I did. I moved the cabinet that was in this little alcove, my curiosity cabinet, put this chair there, and obviously made the new pillow for it, and then put my tapestries on this back wall. This was an area that I'd wanted to change for a while. Now I thought of painting the wall in this same pink that I did on the back wall, but I think I'm going to pick up a nice light green that's in the same colour family of the greens that I've got in the room, and do those 3 walls in the green, which contrast really beautifully with that pink wall. I was worried that the bookshelves might enclose the room or make it feel crowded, but it absolutely hasn't. It's definitely got a really lovely cozy feel to it now, and with a lot of the accessories it feels very academia, and it's, again, with the dark room next door and the very heavy velvet curtains, gives it that moody, warm feeling. The bookshelves, obviously, like I said, I've got lots of little equestrian decor pieces as well that tend to tie everything together, because my curiosity cabinet right above it, I've got a little display of horse heads, and little pieces that are very equestrian themed. These are my busts that I've actually painted out, 2 of them that were shiny. I just gave them a coat of chalk paint just to tone them down, and I think they look great on this little mantle all together, and of course the mirror really sets it off. Now that's the mantle that I made probably last year, and it's just made out of cardboard and it looks fine. You would never know unless you look at it close up. It fits in there perfectly, and again, it's a lovely little place to decorate in summer, fall, and especially around Christmas time. The other 2 bookshelves, I've got odd bookshelves. I've got 2 the same size and 1 a little bit taller, so visually I really should have the bigger one in the middle, but obviously I can't do that because I've got the fireplace there. But again, I'm really happy with how this looks, and it's improved the room no end, and everybody says it when they come in, how nice it looks with the books in the dining room. Now, talk about recycling everything in this room. 99.9% of things in this room have been recycled, upcycled, crafted, or thrifted. I've got books that I bought new. That bust, the big one with the little girl's head, was an anniversary present from the kids many years ago. This little piece was the latest thrifted piece, which I've put on top of my curio cabinet, and there's the 2 little equestrian pictures. So you can see I only recovered the 1 chair with the plaid, but I'm definitely going to do the rest because I loved it. I was going to ask everyone what they thought, but honestly I just think it looks so nice with the covering on, and especially with the upcoming holiday season, I think it's going to add to that look, that English country look that I do like so much, and especially at Christmas time. But the way the whole room has come together, I am so pleased. It's got the loveliest colour scheme, and I think once the walls are painted, I think it's going to be the perfect room. So as I said, I'd only done the one chair because I wanted to see what I thought, but once it was the cover was on, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do the rest. It just matches the room so well, and the existing curtains. This is the valance that I made. I'd shortened one set of curtains for this window and then used the trim with other pieces of velvet just to make up the valance. The other window in the living room, as I said before, I'd used the navy blue velvet because I hadn't got enough of the green velvet for the curtains, but it looks fine because it just blends in with the wall that is painted navy in the living room. All the little fall items that are just on the table with the little red lucite candlesticks and the gold candles just add to that lovely fall and autumnal look of the room. There's something really cozy about having baskets around the house, so I've got a few that I'm going to be pulling into the room. I thought I'd put a few underneath the chair that I just bought in, but here's a quick look at the curio cabinet. This is full of things that I keep in year round. I will be changing some of these out for Halloween, and as I said, that won't be for another couple of weeks, so my Halloween decor tends to stay up a shorter time than most other ladies that have a YouTube channel if they decorate for Halloween, just because of the way that Thanksgiving falls in Canada. It is a shorter period for the Halloween decor, which I don't mind, it's fine. I will be doing, as you know, over the last few weeks I've been making various items for Halloween, and I'm going to be doing a house tour at some point in the next couple of weeks, but then it's sort of full on after Thanksgiving. It's I'll be looking at starting my Christmas crafts and then having the Christmas home tour in early December, but that's a few weeks away. But I hope you enjoyed this quick glimpse at my fall dining room makeover. Tell me what you think of it, and I will see you next time. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.